So I think this is an important video to make, so I wanted to talk about both the EZAs for KALE and KAULIFLA. Now, if you guys seen the speed jump from the past couple of weeks already, they're supposed to have, both KALE and KAULIFLA, they're supposed to get their EZAs by this celebration, but it seems like in the in-game news, they were not. Goku Black's EZA was released, which is very odd, but I feel like they're saving these two for part 2, and we could be expecting something else to come during next month. But I wanted to talk about what they could potentially be, or what they could potentially have in their EZA. So, well, let's quickly go over what they do first. So, KALE's, Berserker KALE is what I'm going to call for now. So, Berserker KALE is basically physical ki +2 and 90% to all stats. That's perfectly solid. Once she awakens, she could have some sort of other passive, but some sort of later skill, but let's continue. She causes immense damage and lowers defense, and she gains 120% attack, and launches an additional with a great chance of an additional to become a super. Her links are Battlefield Diva, Berserkers, Alien Lineage, Warriors of Universe 6, Prepare for Battle, Tournament of Power, Shattering the Limit. There are a few good links in here, and it's Battlefield Diva, Warriors of Universe 6, Prepare for Battle, Tournament of Power, and Shattering the Limit. The thing is, she has mostly key links and not attack links, besides Berserker, which kind of brings her down just a little bit. The other thing that's also bringing her down is defense, because he's only gaining attack, which this attack passive is very good. She could have more. She could have had more, and I think just this alone is all right with me. Just giving her an additional boost. Well, I said boof. Boost would be essential to this unit. Oh yeah, her categories are Universal Survival Saga, Pure Saints, Universe 6, and Explosion of Anger. All three of them are really good, solid categories now, including Universe 6, because thanks to Dokkan Festival, the Dokkan Fest Cup Plus release, the Universe 6 is actually really good now. So yeah, like I said, I feel like, just from my understanding, there could be a defensive boost right here, and I think just this part is okay. It's good enough. Maybe she could have a support passive, maybe she doesn't need it, it depends. And her stats are, they're pretty good, decent enough. But once she EZAs, it seems though that they calculated her EZA stats. She's got at least up to 13, no, wait, 17, almost 17,000 attack. I gotta say, that's actually pretty good. Almost 17,000 attack, that's really good. The thing is, we don't know what her passive is gonna be. Oh yeah, she has a 145% 12 key multiplier, which is very good. Yeah, so we have no idea what she can do with her super attack. That's why I want to predict what she could do. So, if you guys want to check, I am going to write everything on this document. So, if you guys want to check out the document, it's in the link description below. If you're watching this on Twitter, or you're going on Twitter and finding this, it should be a comment. It should be the comment right under it. So I'm gonna create a thread for it. So, okay. So KALE's EZA should be pretty simple. She could. You know what? I'm just gonna put this so. My goodness. There we go. So she could have. She has this, but maybe once they upgrade her to something else, it could just be. So physical type. It could be possible. I'm not saying it can't be, but it could be possible. It would still be plus. If you wanted to be +3, it could, but I think +2 would be good enough in this case. No, I don't think so. I think they would boost it up to 3. They would boost it up to 3 for sure. So key plus physical type key plus 3 and 100%. And all this, just 100%. That's it. I think that would be a very solid. She would be a very solid character to run. Maybe they might add an additional support, additional lead. Let's say key plus 3. Let's say key plus 3 to Explosion of Anger, because I think we don't have an Explosion of Anger sub lead. So I think that's one thing we could look at. And 100% to all stats. Let's just say that. Yeah, plus I can't type today. I am 100% stats. There we go. Boom. Boom. Makes her a solid unit right there. I think just that alone is pretty good enough. Maybe they could boost up to 130. They could. Just like the Angel Goku and Majin Vegeta. They could probably do this. They could probably do that and make 130 or 120% stats for them. Her SA could be a little different. Let me just put this down here. Right now, all she does is just lowers defense. They could just do defense. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is already good enough. I feel like that is already good enough in my opinion. Maybe they could add a little more of something and just change it to greatly lowers defense. So just, it's like I feel like they're just gonna copy and paste this thing, but instead of just lowering defense, they're going to greatly lower defense. And greatly lowers defense, that's it. That's good enough. You know, they don't need to add more. I think that is a very solid SA passive. Her EZA passive, well, to be honest, I think just this alone could be sufficient. Let me change that to 120. Whew. There we go. So yeah, all the ones that are highlighted in the they're all changed. And okay, her passive. Maybe let me check her passive again. So she gets 120% attack. I feel like there are 2 ways she can get a defensive boost. The reason why I would think of that is because she doesn't have a boost, and if she was used right now, she would get demolished. So that's the reason why I think that she could have a similar passive to Goku Black CCA. Yeah, let me actually, how am I gonna do this? Let me pull up. It is under Zamasu. Because right now with Goku Black's recent EZA, all they gave him was whenever he gets attacked, he gains an additional 30% defense up to 180% defense for every attack received. Maybe she can have some passive like that, but instead of getting attacked, for every attack that she makes, she gets 30% more defense. Maybe it could be in her SA passive, but I think this is much better. So she would get obviously 120% attack, she can launch an additional super attack. They can just copy and paste her whole freaking thing in there. I wouldn't mind it. What they should add is just this. Instead of every attack received, it's for each attack. I think that's how they would word it. I think so. Because she makes additionals. Oh wait. I think this is much more there we go. I feel like this is much more effective. So she gains 120% attack, but then she also gains launches an additional attack, which has a great chance, which is a 70% chance to become a super attack, and for every super attack, she gains 30% defense. I think that's perfect. I think that's good enough to the point where she can actually gain a lot of defense and attack, because she does make additionals. And if you give her additionals from her equipment or potential system, she could possibly be a monster. She could. Or they could be crazier and give her a more attack and defense. Oh, did I? Yeah, okay. They could give her attack and defense 30%, up to 120%. Just take off this part. But no, I think that would have to stay because that's part of her that's part of her initial passive from before EZA, but I think this is good enough. That could be possible. Oh, hold on a second. Let me change this part. There we go. And oh no, that's not good. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna highlight this. It is possible for her to just have this 120% attack, which at the start of turn, that's fine, and then launches an additional with a great chance to become a super, and for every super attack she could have just this, because she has almost 17,000 attack in her EZA. I think that's just good enough. She may get a 2 million attack side, maybe 3. Or be a crazy jackass and say just attack and defense 30%. I mean, this may be unrealistic. This part may be unrealistic, but just this part is. Because what I'm thinking is that they could just make her a powerhouse and just give her 120% attack. But I don't think that's possible. So I think giving her just 30% defense for every super attack up to 120% is much, how do you say, it's fair. It's a fair passive. Well, that's what makes her really good. Is that this is a fair passive enough, and this is good enough to the point where she can do multiple super attacks with that same passive. So let me just put this ore right down here. Or this, yeah. By the way, all this information is going to be in the document, like I said. So let's see. Her passive, her categories don't need to change. Her links don't need to change. It's all this. Alright, so we don't need this anymore. Yeah, I think just Kale's EZA stuff, I think this is perfectly fine. You guys can tell me in the comments down below if this is not good enough, if things need to be changed, because from what I see, maybe she could be Explosion of Anger, maybe... No, she may just be Explosion of Anger. Universe 6 is possible. I wouldn't mind another Universe 6 sub-lead, because we only have like one Universe 6 sub-lead? No, two. It's Champa and Vados. But I think Explosion of Anger would be perfect for her. especially at this point, because we don't have one, I presume, right? Just to be sure, we don't have a sublead. Yeah, we don't have subleads, we only have beerus, so yes, this could be a very perfect unit for Anger of Explosion. So let's move on to KAULIFLA. Where is she? Right here. So, obviously, KAULIFLA's passive, in terms of right now, she's pretty good at Battlefield. So I have no complaints from that, so let me get this. KAULIFLA. I was supposed to say that. KAULIFLA, easy lead. Okay. Right now, all she does is all types Q plus 2 and 70% to all stats. That's it. What is possible? They could make it similar to Trunks' passive, where she could just be all types, well, key plus 3 and 100%. 100% to all stats. That seems very unrealistic, by the way, but that is possible. Or, is there another unit that could do this? I feel like there is, hold on. There is another unit that could do that. And there's only one character that has that similar passive, and it's Vegeta. What I mean by Vegeta, I mean Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, the family, no, father and son Gallic gun. So, let me find him. He's somewhere down here. Yeah, he's right there. So, which one is he? This one. This is the one I'm talking about, and I believe it's... Yeah, they drastically changed his to the point where he can just give this. It is possible that they could just give her either just this. No, wait. They could give her just a percent boost to all stats, or they could just give her additional key. But it's also possible that she could get an additional sub-leader skill based on her categories. I feel like the categories that need the most would be rapid growth, because Peppy Gals already has a sub-lead, a really good sub-lead. Universe Survival Saga, does it have a good sub-lead? Yeah, they have, okay, they have decent sub-leads, but Pure Saints already has a really good one, full power. I don't think it needs one at the moment. Yeah, the only sub-lead that could work out is LR Frieza, but I don't think so. Universe 6 is okay, because Champa is one of them. Super Saiyan 2 is okay. There are 4 possibilities. The only possibility I would say is it could be rapid growth. I won't lie. Rapid growth is like the most possible sub-lead for KAULIFLA, since even though it's just released right now. I feel like this could be a better sub-lead for KAULIFLA, especially in the anime, how much she's grown throughout the Universal Survival Saga. So it could be just key plus 3 and just 120%. So oh, how about this? 100, 120, or 130%. You guys choose, you know. I would say these 3 would be the most logical. They could just throw us off and say, oh, we're not gonna use rapid growth because it's all terrible and shiz, but who cares? They could make her better and just give her that. So let me just put this Or there we go. Let me bold it just to be sure. Yeah. I know this looks very unorganized, but I will edit this and I will post this in the description, just so that you guys can look at it. So next up, we're gonna go into her passive, her essay passive actually. There we go, easy essay. So she actually has a decent passive, or essay passive. She increases defense by 30% per 3 turns and causes supreme damage. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty decent. But if this were 6 turns, she would be good as hell. Like, I wouldn't even she would be really good if she has 6 turns, but I think 3 turns was sufficient at her best, at her non-EZA level. But then they can make her better. So, let's see. That causes supreme damage and raises defense by 30%. The only character that the other character that could do that is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if I recall. Just to be sure, there is a Super Saiyan 4 Goku that could do that, and I believe he's right here. I believe it's the strength one. It better be. Which is right here. This strength Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And he raises defense for 6 turns. Oh, so he can stack defense. Okay. Okay, what I think they should do is 2 possible things. 1, they could just leave this 3 turns and just increase it by 60%. Or they could just do 30% and just do it for 6 or 9 turns. That's it. So let me change this for a second. So 3 turns. And then her stuff is always the same. Causes supreme damage and raises defense by 30% for 6 turns. Which is actually pretty common. Especially with certain units. So let me put this right in there. Or maybe they could increase it by 60% for the upper 3 turns, obviously. Which I don't want to say it's not bad. Or just increase it by 30 turns for 9 turns. Those are like the 3 possibilities, I would say. This could make her even better than just dodging her, just as a dodging unit. But I think these are the most reasonable essay passives. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know, because I am the main goal of just having their ECAs be good is to balance them out. Not just make them literally overpowered, but just to make sure that they're usable again. Because KALE wasn't usable until they announced their ECAs in the V-Jump. Same thing with KALIFLA. She's still good as a dodging unit. She's not as good when her chances of dodging are not that good. So even with her attack stat too, I feel like they could do better. Let's see, EZA passive. Now, her passive is basically, oh wait, did I not? Okay, I did. So her passive is obviously adaptive combat. She increases attack by 90%, which is good. 90% is fine. With a high chance to evade, so it's like a 50% chance to dodge, or a 30% chance to dodge the enemy's super attack and counter. So if you calculated that separately, she's okay. The only thing that would make her even better is just dodging. I think leaving the medium chance is okay, but you can change this. You can change this several ways, and I have no problem with this. So let's start with just her first part of this first part, because the reason why I say first part is because maybe she could have an additional boost or support where she could boost or gain more attack and defense by a certain category, and I could see why, because they've been doing that to some of the units through some of the most recent EZAs, I would say. Here, let me pull up some of the EZA units. Ooh, okay, where is it? I thought I had it on there. Let me go to global, because Extreme Z Awakening, the only ones, yeah, like this Goku, like these exchanging units, they've been supporting the Goku family categories. These guys get a buff from the movie hero category. These guys get a buff from the Goku family and Vegeta family, depending on the enemies. Let's see who else. I believe he gives a boost for full power. That's for sure. He gives a boost for Super Saiyan 2s. This one, and where's the physical one? This physical one. Like, some of the recent EZAs, they had specific conditions to gain more boost or to support other characters on a specific team. And I think this is where the KALIFLA's passive could come in. So maybe by the first part, for the first part, keep your attack the same. Maybe add more defense. It's like 90% defense. Oops, put a percent instead of that. Attack and defense 90%. That would be a nice touch. High chance. I feel like high chance should stay there, with the medium chance to dodge, high chance to dodge and medium chance to counter would be a nice touch. Maybe giving her a support passive like rapid growth or universe 6 key +2 and 20% attack and defense. She would be good right there. She could just probably just give a support passive to rapid growth and universe 6 by that much. And just leave it at that. I think all they need to do is just leave that boost at that, and then she'll be okay. Maybe she could be better. Let's say they give her a great chance to dodge, meaning that she might have a high chance. You could change it. You could change the chances if you feel like it, by giving them a great chance or a high chance to evade or dodge. This makes her good enough where she could be on par with Janemba. That's all I'm going to say. But keeping her support passive like this, she could. Or she could have another condition. Instead of giving her a support passive and giving her this, let's say we give her this again, but instead of having a support passive, they would say, I don't know, let's say if Kale, like Kale and Caulifla, Berserker Kale, Super Saiyan 2 Kale, Base Form Kale, if Kale is on the team, gain an additional attack with a great / medium chance to I think it's to transform into a super attack. Oops. It could just be that. It could just be that. You know. I'm not saying it could guarantee to be that passive. But this is one of the conditions. She might go on. Another condition, I can think of like 3 or 4 conditions. This may be a little wonky, but she may have a condition where if there's a Goku, if there is a Goku, yes, Goku, no, Pure Saiyans, my bad. Pure Saiyan's category enemy. Oops, my bad. If there is a Pure Saiyan's category enemy, meaning Goku, Vegeta, those type of enemies, she would get the same thing. That's it. Same thing with actually, now you think about it, Kale could also have this passive. Where if there's a yeah, if she gets this, she could have an additional boost. I wouldn't mind that. But if there is a Pure Saiyans, like Goku for example, she could just either gain an additional attack with a great or medium chance to transform into a super attack, but I don't think that's stupid because she already has that in her passive. She could have a guaranteed chance to dodge or evade, actually. I have to go into Dokkan terms, or this could be weird, but she could gain an additional 100% attack. There. She could literally be a monster. She could have any additional passive, as long as there's a Pure Saiyan's category enemy. Which makes sense because in the anime, she literally overpowers Goku, even at Super Saiyan Blue. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't this passive make sense at all? If it does, please let me know. But I think overall, these could be like the most possible. These aren't guaranteed, but this is how I'm predicting it to be. And I'm guessing this is a very long video, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been like over 34 minutes. I didn't want to make it too long, but I wanted to go over like the most better way to do it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you guys want to see more Dokkan content. By the way, hopefully these EZAs are going to be so much similar to this, but I hope they are. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.